All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. After a Chinese Galwan soldier was made the Olympic torchbearer, India has announced a diplomatic boycott of the Winter Olympics that have started today in Beijing. This means that India will not, of course, be sending its officials to the Games. However, the country will still be sending its athlete to compete. Now, in response to WION's question on the issue of China having politicized the Winter Olympic Games, this is what the Ministry of External Affairs in India had to say about this entire controversy.
It is indeed regrettable that the Chinese side has chosen to politicize an event like the Olympics. I wish to inform that our chargé d'affaires of the Embassy of India in Beijing will not be attending the opening or the closing ceremony of the Beijing 22 Winter Olympics.
Now, India's national broadcaster will also not telecast the opening and the closing ceremonies of the Winter Olympics. The United States, interestingly, has reacted to this controversy, saying that they have very prominently previously voiced concerns over Beijing's attempts to intimidate their neighbours.
We've previously voiced our concerns of Beijing's pattern of ongoing attempts to intimidate its neighbors. As we always do, we stand with friends, we stand with partners and allies to advance our shared prosperity, security and values in the Indo-Pacific.
Now, yesterday, Chief Fabov was China's torchbearer for the Olympic torch relay, but who exactly is this man? Now, he happens to be a commander of a PLA regiment, someone who apparently sustained head injuries during the clashes that took place at the Galwan Valley. Now, China's prime propaganda machine, the Global Times, has even described him as the hero of the Galwan Valley border clash. Now, remember, this, of course, is the same country that had denied having suffered any casualties in the skirmish that took place at Galwan. But now, China wants to honour the hero of the Galwan Valley as China is choosing to describe him, and it is using the Winter Olympic Games ceremony to highlight, that is used to highlight the Olympic spirit to provoke India. And this has come as the two nations are also trying to resolve the crisis diplomatically. So far, about 14 rounds of talks have been held between New Delhi and Beijing. However, both sides have failed to make any kind of headway in the talks. Soldiers of China and India have clashed in 2020, resulting in the loss of 7 lives on both sides. The clashes erupted after the unprovoked aggression by Chinese troops in Galwan Valley in Ladakh. And it's been nearly about 2 years since the incident, and currently there's been disengagement at many flashpoints. The tensions continue to simmer between the two countries. Now, India is not the only country to have announced a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Winter Olympics. It has now joined several other nations, including the likes of the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada and Australia. And the Japanese government has also said that it would not be sending a delegation to the Games. By the end of January, there were several other European nations that had also joined the diplomatic boycott, including the likes of Estonia, Latvia, Sweden, the Netherlands and Denmark. Meanwhile, in India, Tibetans are protesting outside of the Chinese embassy against the Winter Olympic Games in Beijing. This a day after India announced a diplomatic boycott of the Games. And WION's principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibil, has been tracking the story for us and has sent us this ground report. Take a look.
Tibetan protesters behind me protesting against the Beijing Winter Olympics. They have been chanting against China and, of course, talking about how safety of Tibet is required for security of India. They also burned the Chinese flag as a mark of protest and are carrying a lot of banners calling it a genocide game as well. The Winter Olympics perhaps is the most controversial Olympics the world has seen since early 1980s. And we know that a lot of countries have diplomatically announced that they're going to boycott it. India joined the bandwagon yesterday after Chinese provocation. The Chinese had put a PLA commander was involved in the Galwan aggression as a torchbearer, and this had provoked India. India had earlier said that it's not going to boycott it by being part of the BRICS and the RIC joint statement on it. But the change happened because the Chinese were seen politicizing the games, and that is why the Indian decision came. But nonetheless, today here in Delhi, the area where I'm standing near the diplomatic enclave, is reverberating with the chants by these Tibetans against China, saying that there should be a boycott of these games. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.